Are you looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the PrizePicks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/bluewire and use code BLUEWIRE. That's code BLUEWIRE at prizepicks.com/bluewire for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Mavs Party. Guys, so for those of you who are listening later, it's about 12:15. It's about 10 minutes after the Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns trade. So for everybody in the chat that doesn't know about it, Kevin Durant heading to the Suns for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a swap. So we had fun being on top of the Western Conference, at least in a metaphorical sense, for about 45 minutes. Quite the trade for the Suns. But you know what? We're not here to talk about the fucking Suns. We're here to talk about the Dallas Mavericks, who just played a really fun game against the Los Angeles Clippers. You know, minus Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving's debut, the Mavericks jumped out to a really big lead and then ended up holding off numerous Clipper rallies, including, you know, one from not Paul George, from, you know, Kawhi Leonard, who just has been tearing out the Mavericks hearts. It's really fun to get that win, to be quite honest. This was a game where I was really entering it with just the lowest of expectations, hoping to see some fun basketball and to come out with a win and to bump all the way up back to 4th, you know, 4 games above 500 with, you know, heading into the trade deadline at 2 or 3 p.m. I can't remember. Just nice. I'm really looking forward to what happens. Now the Mavericks hopefully will still have a move in them. So, because I think there's still at least 1 or 2 players that we would like to see maybe change locations. But if it's Luka and then these guys, it's at least different enough to where I think we're going to have a lot of fun the rest of the season. So tell me what you're thinking. Let's hang out for not too long because, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I am running on fumes. Just between us friends here. My week has been preposterously long between sick dogs. My kid was actually in the hospital for a day. He's okay, but just no sleep in the Henderson household. So let's hang out and then let's move on with our lives, because maybe we'll be back tomorrow afternoon doing a live show when they trade for somebody else. Chris, what's up?
Hey, Kirk. The first thing I wasn't going to say before this Durant trade is like, I'm not scared of any team. Like, after seeing,
I don't blame you. Luka's still the best player on all these guys, so I don't really give a shit. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It just feels great to have a win, and even when Luka's not playing, I wasn't thinking that Pinson was going to be one of the contributors in the 4th quarter.
Oh my God. Like Josh and I barely touched on Pinson. Like, if I'm the Clippers, I'm mad at everybody that Theo Pinson was the reason why the Mavericks held on to that game.
Oh my God. And you know what? I thought McGee in the first half, I thought he played pretty good as far as getting.
It's not a think. He did. He played
Yeah,
well.
I mean, he only got 5 rebounds, but he just looked big out there. I don't know.
Active, and he wasn't chasing bullshit. Like, he didn't hang his teammates out to dry.
Yeah, exactly. But this team they're playing faster. I know when Luka comes back, there'll be moments where we're slow it down a little bit, but just, a lot of the media guys are saying, I mean, maybe in general you would think, the Mavs are going to be a worse defensive team, but I think Dorian kind of regressed on defense anyway, and Dinwiddie wasn't all that great on defense. But I think if these guys are hitting their shots, like, shout out to Reggie Bullock. I mean, Jesus Christ, that first quarter, he had 5 threes or whatever. I mean, these guys make their shots. They play better on defense. And Josh Green, I mean, he just plays a lot of energy out there. I think we're good. I have this feeling now, Jesus, I'm looking past Denver here, and I don't care about Memphis, but I'm thinking Mavs, Suns, Western Conference Finals. I don't know.
Well, matchups still have a long way to go, but it's nice to be on the inside track towards a top 4 season.
At least we got something, man. I don't care if it's a necessarily quote unquote rental, because this is the youngest we'll have Kyrie now, and there's only 30-something games left. I mean, sometimes you might have a year or two, just that window of winning a championship.
I'm sorry. I just read from Brad Townsend that he just because Brad's been taking a beating on the Twitter because Brad needs to learn that Twitter is not for him. He also needs to learn not to check his replies. He also needs to just relax a little bit. But he just tweeted, "We're still waiting to talk to Kyrie Irving. He's lifting weights. We're informed."
Oh, I saw that too. I saw that. Oh, last thing I was going to point on, just Christian Wood. Was there something that happened around the third quarter? Was it Tim Hardaway just yelling at Christian Wood? Is like, get back, get back.
I mean, that's like Spider-Man versus Spider-Man in terms of defensive mistakes. I don't know what the hell,
Yeah, but Wood, no, Kyrie only played one game, but I'm saying the last couple of games, I don't know if it's in his head that he's about to get traded or what's going on, but he just seems out of place.
Wood? Oh yeah. I jokingly accused Wood of point shaving. He was awful tonight.
Yeah, it just seems awkward having him on the team.
It's like when the ball. So Luka has this problem to a degree, but it was very evident tonight with how the Mavericks were playing on offense that the ball was moving. The ball never stuck. Kyrie didn't dribble the hell out of the ball. Every time he had it, he was going somewhere. When Wood got the ball, it's a size up thing. And that you need that sometimes because you need to slow the pace of the game down. But the Mavericks were cooking. You got to push.
Yeah. And we're having we did have a lot of turnovers with Hardy and this, but whatever, growing pains. But at least we're not going to have Dinwiddie, he played great this year on offense, but how many bad passes and all have we seen? Hopefully we'll have less of that, less turnovers.
Well, when you push the ball, you're going to turn it over more. That's just the nature of basketball because mistakes happen. But there's a balance they can find between this 30th pace in the league stuff. And then Bobby Corral, I'm pretty sure, was the one who tweeted this out a couple of days ago, but he might have deleted it. A lot of the team's fast break points, something like 20%, have been scored by Josh Green and Hardy, who don't get to play. So it's what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe they'll upgrade, get something else.
I just want to keep mixing up the roster. We talk about an upgrade. Yes. I don't even know if I want an upgrade. I want different.
Yes, exactly. But let's keep getting these wins.
All right, man. Talk soon. Thanks, Chris. Ruben, we're going to let you go early. What's up?
What just happened, Kurt?
Oh, you mean the trade or our game? Which thing?
The trade.
I mean, basketball is crazy. This is the kind of all-in move that I just love it because we can't ever make this kind of move because we don't have the Suns were bad for a really long time. So they had a bunch of high draft picks, and then guys that were mid-range picks like Cam Johnson and McHale that worked out well. You have to do this over time to be able to. So it's that package for Durant, in my opinion, feels fair. Three wing rotation players and then 5 picks. Well, 4 picks in a swap. It's great. Basketball's nuts.
They got the thing that got me. They got TJ Warren with it. I don't even know if he can come back this season, but
he's been out since the bubble. Do you realize that?
Yes,
the before times. That's how long he's been out.
But yeah, Kurt, just a couple things. I won't be long.
Sure.
You do sound pretty tired tonight, man. I hope your dogs get healthy and your son gets healthy, and you can have some sleep.
And he doesn't get me sick. I am a bitch. I am such a baby when I'm sick.
Hey, man, me too. I don't have kids or a girl right now. I like it that way, but I am like, just come take care of me type shit.
That's
but
right.
yeah, but hell of a game. No, like,
Fun.
Jesus, what is going? I need everybody to think the trade deadline is every week. Like Reggie going off from three, like. We were up like 20, almost damn near 30 in this game, and I guarantee nobody like picked the Mavs to win this game.
The line was 8.5 points.
Jesus Christ. And I hope Kyrie like got a taste of what Luka. I kind of tweeted like, now Kyrie knows what Luka did with on a every night basis to carry this team to a Western Conference final. I know we got Brunson helping. But Jesus, it felt good to see the ball moving as much as it did. And for everybody, like I know everybody has their doubts about Kyrie or the deal in period. But that is a dynamic that the Mavs can do. Like if Luka can finally breathe. Let me just put it simply like that. He can finally breathe. And when he's done doing his 30 and getting 15 assists, Kyrie can take over and they can do the fastball or whatever. Well, but I love what I'm seeing
I think that it's on Luka to move his ass a little more.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree because what we're seeing on defense, we haven't seen all season. Yeah. If
but
you
on
see
offense
what I
too, where it's like, somebody said early, I can't find it. It was way up in the comments. It's like, somebody tell me why the ball was popping more with Kyrie than with Luka. And it's because Kyrie could have scored 35 tonight. I think he gave up some easy looks to try to get guys involved. And I think that's great. I can't help but think that the kind of pace we've seen, the Mavericks need to do a little thunder lightning a little more often is all. And that's, it's them running, because it's like, gosh, you get more out of Josh Green, you get more out of Reggie Bullock. It's not all, it's not all like precision surgery. There are going to be some more turnovers, but damn it, if it wasn't fun to just one thing different tonight.
And it was different tonight only because it looked like, how the saying was with this team since J. Kidd got here, and even he had to tell it to the players, like, you can still have energy even though you miss a shot. And the last couple of games, they are gathering energy from their defensive effort, even though they miss a shot. Just because Luka's not out there is not an automatic shot now. But I have noticed that, they still got effort, even when they get the ball from a good defensive effort and they still push the ball. And kind of, if THJ doesn't have the ball, and oh my God, can we please trade him for a second round or just a mid guy center or whatever? Because as soon as THA has the ball, he's not looking to pass.
He's shooting.
And Jesus. And tonight he just let some bullshit up. I'm
His stat line is so confusing too. It's 19, 5, and 6. He had 6 assists. When the shit did those happen? I don't remember them.
I don't either. Like, it had to be deep in the clock,
or like fast break ones where they're just pumping. And pushing the ball.
He was giving grenades out tonight, man. Because it's
oh my gosh,
bro. But my last point. Seeing the trade, and it's kind of funny. The trade happens after we beat the Clippers, which I don't think is by accident. They watched everybody. The world's eyes was on this game for Kyrie's first game as a Mav.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. got Kyrie's first Mav jersey, first game jersey or whatever, which it kind of sent fireworks in my brain. Like, okay, Floyd kind of knows something. And I think KD, this is my last point. KD did I don't know what he said to the team, or because he has 4 years on his contract. He said something to the net staff or whatever front office. Give me this. I need to fucking stop Kyrie and fucking dunk it on his head. Like, I feel like, KD, let me go to the West. I don't care who you trade me to. And exactly. I'm not sure where Phoenix Suns got 4 first-rounders.
But they never do anything. They were bad for a real long time, and then they got good because Chris Paul turned the ship around.
They traded Mikal Bridges. What? Yeah. Holy crap. I mean, it's KD, but Mikal was like almost their Dodo and
Mikal.
Brunson.
Mikal was who I wanted Dallas to draft in 2018 when I thought they were sticking at 5.
Yeah, shit. Didn't he get traded?
Yeah.
He got
traded from the Sixers drafted him and then sent him to the Suns for that guy who only played like a year at Texas Tech and then had all those weird, he had like a food, he had an allergy attack or something.
I think so.
It's like the Sixers, can you imagine the Sixers and Mikal Bridges? My goodness.
But yeah, thank God. But I'll get down. But great game, great win. I cannot wait to see Luka and Kyrie on the court together. Nobody had this game for us. Mavs Nation, let's make some
Hopefully
noise,
Friday.
baby.
They play the Kings at 9. They play the Kings. And
Friday?
They play the Kings Friday and Saturday, each at 9:00. And the 2 games up on the Mavericks in the 3 seed. When we play them twice. So you could theoretically...
We got him. We got him, Kurt. We got him. Luka's coming back. We got Kyrie. Let's go.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I keep saying I'm such a schmuck because I'm just like, hey, I don't want to talk long, and then I talk forever. Krishna, what's up, man?
Kirk, how are you?
I'm all right.
I thought we were just going to talk about a game, and then...
Well, this is, the NBA is great. Okay. This is why I like... we get these, reports for podcast downloads and Megaphone, and my month to dates, compared to January 1st to January 9th, my month to date podcast downloads, same number of podcasts are up by 45%. So people like this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I tweeted out, who's writing these scripts? This is ridiculous. I forgot to mention, I didn't talk about the trade in and of itself when it happened. It completely skipped my mind after the Utah game. But, I find it interesting, the Spencer narrative. I do kind of agree. I think Spencer is the kind of player who's always going to kind of speak his mind. And it works when you're in a good environment and the team is winning. But it was clear the team was just kind of in this rut. And it was probably time for him to go.
Well, and it seems like everybody parted ways before things got weird.
Yeah, and I think it's positive because you're going to remember the really good things. I think it was his first game or his second game, that huge comeback against the Warriors, and then that dunk on Gobert in the playoffs, and then obviously Game 7 versus the Suns. Most people are going to remember those things rather than
I'm going to I'm going to fondly remember Spencer. He left at the ideal time.
Exactly. Yeah. He didn't even play a year here, and he's probably done more in a year as a Maverick than some players have, which is commendable, and a lot more than you could have ever asked for. In terms of Doe, obviously very sad. I think as a Mavs fan, I became a fan really in 2013, and watching those teams was really different. And you quote tweeted that Bobby Carolla article where it was Doe's first time joining the team, and seeing Doe's quotes about wanting to
kind of emotional
players. Yeah, I genuinely cried. I get it. I get all the people saying why are you so sad? But to me, I like superstars, of course, but to me, I always relate better to those kind of guys. The players that start kind of from nothing. Like Doe and Jose Alvarado, on the Pelicans, those kind of guys are the stories I really like because, most of the NBA are those guys. And if you told anyone in 2016, Doe was going to be a all defensive player caliber and that $15 million a year for him is nothing, I don't think most people would believe you, but it's a credit to him. And honestly, I just hope he has a good time in Brooklyn or wherever he is. I think likely he's going to get traded again because
he's the kind of guy that helps a contender.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I do think he was starting to slow down, and that's normal. Like he was getting to 30, but I don't see him so much as a Covington just because I think he's a lot more aggressive, and I think his attitude is really different in that sense, and that's something I think will probably keep him more. I think he could be more like a Batum, where he's not going to be, he's never going to be relied upon in the same way that he was on the Mavericks, and I think that's fine. But I hope he's happy. And honestly, like I get it, right? That package comes up, you have to do it just purely because of what the talent is. And, I completely acknowledge all the off court stuff with Kyrie, but I've also tried to be really prominent about, and you've talked about it too, is just, it's not like the Mavericks organization is perfect. And that's been clear. That's just kind of all I want to leave it at in terms of the trade. In terms of the game today, I mean, yeah, I never really had too many questions about the on-court stuff, but it was clear. Like this team just played with a really great pace, and it didn't feel like they were missing much from the Utah game in the
No.
sense that it was a continuation of that,
Yep.
which was awesome because I don't think that was the question. You tweeted kind of sarcastically, but it's kind of true. Like Luka's going to get really tired having to run up the court.
Maybe he'll get his big ass down to about 240.
Yeah, it's like I was going to make a joke like Luka needs to call LeBron so he can get that regimen, because look, it's easy to compare Luka to LeBron, but the thing that's so different is LeBron only plays the style now because he's lost athleticism. Like that's just kind of inevitable, and it'll be interesting if Luka could ever get close to that. I don't think he'll ever be that because that's just not ever going to happen.
Well, Luka needs to, like I've said this. I said this on a podcast with Josh. LeBron and Luka comparisons happen all the time. The single biggest difference, though, is that LeBron is the greatest transition player in all time, and Luka does not push the ball. Luka can push the ball. He chooses not to. And I just think if you have the weapons, Josh, Kyrie, maybe that's it, but that's still pretty.
That's it right now.
That's a starting point, and even push the ball. That's all.
I think so. Yeah, that's definitely the thing. Like, it's easy to forget. Like, I mean, LeBron's shooting.
People
threes
forget
now.
Frank Ntilikina. Sorry.
Like, it's easy to feel like LeBron. He entered the league. He was just not a good shooter.
No,
like he was not good at all.
Well,
and
yeah,
he relied a lot on his athleticism, which it took him a lot of places. But he had to develop that. And in a sense, I wonder if Luka can do the opposite, where Luka can develop his transition game, which is weird because it's not like he didn't have it. It's just it's like
a chess match. The game is a chess match for Luka.
I think so. It was, to me, it was partially a thing of where the Mavericks just had to play a slower style and a slower pace because they just didn't have the kind of players to do that all the time. And I don't know if they necessarily still have that now, but we'll see what happens. But, exciting game. We'll see what happens in the West. I put in the chat, I feel bad for the Kings, man. The Kings are going to get overshadowed in all of this. And
they're still playing really well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because no one really has – yeah, because no one has a good matchup for anyone. Like, no one really has a matchup for Jokic. I guess maybe the Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies are the only team I would say that don't really have good half-court offense in terms of the teams that are going to make the playoffs, which is not a great thing, but – this is a nuts season, but hopefully you enjoy the night. Take care, and sorry to keep you so
That's
long.
all right, bub. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Okay, coming up next, Brandon. How you doing, Mr. Pearson? What's going on tonight?
I'm well, Kirk. How are you?
I am okay. I can feel myself dragging, but that's fine. I don't. Fun basketball games like this are not as they're. This is great, so I want to stay up and talk.
Yeah, I think waking up is always the hangover for me. I'm like, God, I should have went to sleep.
Right.
But
that's right.
That's every night, so I kick myself every morning. Man, that was a good game. I do Kyrie. One thing I like about him is, on the court, he's so professional. The way that he carries himself as a player, just strictly on the court, his fundamentals are just like unmatched. His handles, I think people just kind of knew about his handles back from his Duke days. But
so did you hear the weird little comment Mark, it's not I'm overemphasizing, but it was a comment Mark gave to WFAA, and he said like Luka's the best ball handler in the league when we just got number 2. And I wonder if he said that. Because he obviously wants to say his guy's the best, but like Kyrie has preposterous handles. Like it's not, there's Kyrie and then there's everybody else. Luka is impressive for his size and for how little he loses the ball, but like actual handles, some of the low dribble stuff Kyrie did tonight, woo!
Man, that's a great point, the low dribble stuff. If you think about it, Luka doesn't just like kill people with his bag isn't as big as Kyrie's. Luka knows how to position people and body him to the goal and step back, and they don't know what to do. Because if they guard him close, he's just going to body him, and if they play off of him, he's going to step back. Kyrie's a different animal. I mean, and I think the best example is just the highlight reel whenever he out dribbled 3 people when he was at Duke. That's still on repeat on a lot of social media. So that's just kind of like a testimony of how good his skills are. But it seems like he can be what the Mavericks always has, like whenever they get a high-scoring player. Like they had brought up Monte Ellis today I was listening, I didn't really watch it. They brought up Monte Ellis, and Dallas always gets like a good scorer for some reason. Like OJ, he wasn't the best, but he was still an efficient scorer. Monte was definitely an efficient scorer. I just kind of hope that, if they get anything out of it, it's people are going to see that. Well, to put it like this, I think that it's a way that Dallas could say, hey, good star players can come to Dallas and play. It's been a history of us not really getting anybody, but it's kind of like not really a mirage, but kind of like advertisement, like, come and play for Dallas. Stars do want to come here, or you can play on this team if you're a star. I don't know. Just a hope. But that first and those 2 seconds for some type of recognition, I think it's pretty much worth it.
Well, it's an interesting gamble, and if it doesn't work, then neither Nico Harrison nor Luka Doncic will be here in 2029. But that's kind of a different worry for a different day. I think, what comes next over these next 25 games, however many there are till the playoffs, and then the playoffs themselves, is within Luka Doncic's ability as the team's best player and leader to show that he can fit with Kyrie. It's not up to, because Kyrie's the one with the power of the purse to go sign elsewhere if he wants to. So if he wants Kyrie as a teammate, he has to make the case. And that's why this is, it's people talk about it being risky for, kind of Kyrie's, let's just say his kind of peculiar mood swings and things that he decides he doesn't want. And, the combination of injury and size, yada, yada, yada. But it's the power, the power is within the Mavericks' ability, and Luka in particular, to say, I can play with another guy who needs the ball. I mean, it worked for LeBron and him, but Kyrie didn't want to play that way. That's why he wanted to move elsewhere. Maybe Kyrie's at a different point in his career now. I don't know.
He beat the ball so much with Kevin Durant, and they played so well together, gelling. I kind of wonder if he's willing to share the ball with Luka.
I mean, why not? Because if you're going to score a ton of points, like this kid offense, like number one, they ran more offense tonight than I've seen them run in a long time. Like it was some real nice, simple play design, but like plays, they're running play. Like, they're running like some 3-man weave stuff out on the edge. I had a great time watching this tonight. And that, that when I say it's up to Luka, I mean that they can't run, the same Spain pick and roll over and over again. Like they need to do different stuff. Like a Kyrie Luka pick and roll with Luka as the screener or Kyrie as the screener is absolutely unguardable.
This is advertiser content brought to you by Frito-Lay.
Hello, I'm Chip Murphy, here to get you ready for the big tournament. Tonight we'll break down who will be cutting. Cut! What are you two doing?
Sorry, Chip. Prez here got his feathers ruffled when I told him Ruffles has zero chance of winning the title.
And I was letting Dip know that she is not taking into account Ruffles' iconic ridges.
Guys, it's March. We have to start talking about the tournament.
We are. It is the 2023 Frito-Lay Snack It.
We're talking about big-time matchups between Cheetos, Smart Food, Lay's, Sun Chips, and more.
Just head to the Frito-Lay Snack Bracket and vote for your favorite chip, pretzel, or dip for a chance to win up to $1,000 or a year's worth of snacks.
This sounds great. Keep up the good work.
Just go to fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 4/3/2023. Void where prohibited. Year's worth of snacks awarded in the form of 52 coupons, each good for one bag of chips. See official rules at fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com.
I'm curious to find out, and I'm pretty sure somebody has the stats of when Luka has the ball, how many seconds he takes
he
off
holds
the
the
clock
ball
as
more than
opposed
any
to
player
Kyrie.
in the league. Like it's like
Yeah, and it's crazy because Kyrie dribbles a lot faster and he drives a lot more. So I'm kind of like, if he's scoring efficient and they're getting shots off quickly, that would work to me in the Mavs' favor because if they're wasting time and missing shots, they're just going to prolong if they're behind. But as opposed to if they're making shots and they're getting shots up quickly, they can run at a high pace, which teams are doing right now.
Yeah.
And one more thing, man. Well, actually, two more things real quickly about Dorian, man. I don't know if you remember, but, he talked about when his mom was working at churches while he was growing up, and then she was still working at churches while he was in the league.
Yep.
And, I mean, that dude just comes from humble beginnings, and I think the Mavs broadcast love that dude. And I'm like you, man. I just got, just fond memories of his work ethic and where he came from because that dude was he was an energy guy. They didn't know what to do with him. He was fouled a lot, scored maybe 2 points a game, 2 rebounds, and he was in and out. He couldn't shoot as opposed to what he is now. He's not the best dribbler, but 3-and-D all the way, and it's just a testimony of what hard work and focus will get people.
I think that's right.
And then one more thing about shout out to LeBron, but I think that his work ethic is what separates him from everybody. Kareem was a beast. Not too many people can start a movie with Bruce Lee, but LeBron, not too many people can look like that at 38. So I think longevity and health is what would differentiate him. And if Luka ever wants to reach that milestone, he's a great, but to me, I would really consider, the type of fuel that I put in my car. Because, LeBron, he puts the best in his. And, at 38 years old, it kind of shows that, that pays off.
Man, that's really I recommend going and seeking out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Substack. He wrote about the game last night. It was really good. So.
Well, thank you, Kirk. I appreciate your time.
Sure. All right. Let me see here. We got a lot of people still, so bear with me. Josh, what's going on?
Hey, Kirk.
How you doing?
Lounging like Pete Townsend. How about you?
I am whooped. It's been a long week, but we're having fun hanging out, so I'm going to keep it going.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I haven't talked with you since the trade and all that. Lots of trades are happening, but change is good. So when change happens, everybody gets excited. The team is playing differently with Luka off the floor. But to be, I used to be the optimist, but to be a little bit pessimistic, it's good for now. We got 1/3 of the season left, and we see what's up with this dude. But man, his track record is just awful. So everybody, kind of envisioning like, oh, it's awesome and this and that. Well, it's awesome until dude decides to be a total douche, and he's managed to become a total douche at every stop in the most inopportune times.
For him and for
junctures.
The team. But I will say this. He wants a final contract. He's 31. He's made a lot of money, but this is his last chance to make big money. He has incentives to really want to make this work.
No, he does. And the pace was fun. I I disagree a little bit. I mean, he was turning, with all the dribbling talk, he dribbled the ball away at least 3 times tonight. But regardless, they're getting they never played together.
Some of the turnovers that everybody had, like my favorite, like Jaden Hardy had 5 turnovers in 12 minutes, and no small part because he was like, "Holy shit, I'm playing basketball with Kyrie Irving, dribble, dribble, dribble." It was great.
Yeah, he was. The team was really giddy.
Yeah.
Like you've said before, players love Kyrie Irving.
Yes, they do.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody was totally, having all the butterflies, and it that was cool. I mean, I'm happy to see basketball dudes being happy playing basketball. So I think that's part of what it is. And what do you think? It looks like maybe Wood's going to stay. Yeah.
I don't know. He was a sourpuss on that bench. I don't have a good feeling on him. I also don't have a good read. So it wouldn't be shocking.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the pace goes, Luka's going to come back, and I surely hope that they continue. That kid continues with the Hardy and Josh minutes.
There's no choice. He has to play Josh. Hardy, I think will see minutes in spots, but Josh has to play 25 to 30 now.
Yeah, he does. And man, his defense was awesome tonight.
He did well.
They didn't talk about like that. I mean, he had a couple of like chase down blocks himself and then got up the floor so fast. I mean, man, he turned the narrative on himself quick. So all the people, bitching about Bane all the time. Well, now he's kind of writing his own narrative. It's dope. But yeah, now with Durant to the Suns, they're looking pretty thin. So if any injuries happen over there, that's going to be pretty dire for them, right? No, I don't know.
The Suns? Oh gosh, yeah. They gutted their depth for talent, and let's just say if you think of the playoffs as 25-ish games. 25 to 30 games, depending on how many series you guys got. And then the rest of the series now, I kind of like it for right now because Durant will come back after All-Star break and be well. Booker, obviously, I can't remember if Booker's still playing. But they're built to play a short-term game. Long-term, whole season, a little risky. It's obviously still risky for those things, but it's like the fewer number of games, then the less worried I am about them.
Yeah, it's things have gotten interesting really quick, and you're right. The optimistic view is, hey, now we kind of switch things up, but I'm extremely, the thing that makes me most optimistic is the fact that it's like, oh, it's a team game now where the ball's popping around and everybody's playing, and that just feels better vibe wise because it was pretty sloggy for a while. But anyway, I know you're feeling a little tired and stuff, so I'll let you talk off, and I'll call in on the next game. Thanks so much, Kirk.
Appreciate you, Josh. Didn't mean to kill you there. Who's next? We got some great bunch of regulars here. Adam, what's up, man?
Hey, I'll keep this more succinct here. Tonight's game, what I observed was Luka looking extra relaxed on the bench, and I haven't seen him like that on a lot of these games that he sat out for injury or rest or whatever the case may be, and that was really evident to me. And secondly, I don't think Kyrie played that great. I don't think he was forcing it. He was letting the game come to him. And I mean, the last caller talked about Theo Pinson. Theo Pinson and McKinley Wright played almost 30 minutes, and they looked like workable, competent NBA players. And I think some of that's due to the gravity of Kyrie, and there's something to be said for that. And Kyrie wasn't necessarily, he was handling the ball, bringing the ball up. He was playing kind of like a Klay Thompson role a little bit, running across, baseline double screens and And I think a lot of just that energy and just, I mean, he's always moving, just constant motion, tiring, I think he tired, Paul George out,
Yes.
I think
Paul George looked terrible tonight because he was having to move his ass around.
Absolutely. They were like that team. The Clippers definitely don't want to see Luka in the playoffs, but they don't want to see a Luka and Kyrie Mavericks team in the playoffs. I mean, Kawhi doesn't bring it. Some of these nights he conserves his energy, but he was competing out there on defense. They were trying to prove a point, and they're not the greatest offensive team. They're a bottom 4 NBA scoring team. They score like 111, 112.
But they just do like different variations of ISO. For as much as we think Luka over ISOs, they're like my turn, your turn. It was awful.
Absolutely, yeah. They are missing a lot. And to your point, Kyrie is going to be on his best behavior because if you think about it, like the only other teams really that were vying for Kyrie were Phoenix, but that wasn't really likely. The Lakers and the Clippers. The Lakers are really out of the question unless there's some kind of crazy sign and trade with D'Angelo Russell, and the Mavericks don't want D'Angelo Russell. Like he's not going to get another big contract. He lucked out when he was with the Nets, and basically he was just matching salary to get KD over to the Warriors. Like that's not going to happen again. The Clippers, I mean, they might look bad enough to get that done. So I mean, I think 20, 25 games. I think there's going to be kind of positive results there. Also, I mean, this definitely does give me vibes of, and I think there's going to be the inevitable kind of dumb questions. Is there enough basketball to go around for Kyrie and Luka? The same kind of discussion between Harden and Chris Paul, and that worked out pretty well, before the egos got involved and things of that nature. But I think those are going to be stupid questions. What is going to be kind of a double-edged sword, I think, coming to the end of the year, as you see Luka and Kyrie play together, there's going to be some rumblings about who's the closer on this team. There's going to be some people that want Kyrie to handle the ball at the end of the game, but but those are good problems to have because I think those are top 5, top 7 closers. And you got 2 of them on the same team,
I do. And that the optionality there, with Luka being the league's best first quarter scorer and Kyrie, I think, being the league's best fourth quarter scorer is wild.
Absolutely. And with the kind of some of the, this is the Mavericks kind of podcast, no need to talk about some of the other teams, but like indirectly, it seems like I think some of the pieces that are still out there, I think Seth Curry could actually be on the move. He's an expiring $8 million contract. I don't know if the Nets want to pay him $12 million a year. I don't think he's going to take anything less than, $10, $12 million a year. I mean, he could be on the move. Eric Gordon, with all the other moves that have come about, I think, Dallas still has their 2024, 2026 first round picks. I think they're all in at this point. If they see something that can move the needle for them, they think that's going to help them win. Even marginally, I think they go in, whether that's, and so Eric Gordon, if I'm guessing and he gets moved, I think it's either Dallas or Milwaukee, depending on where Jay Crowder goes. But,
so none of y'all would know this because I didn't do this years ago. If you guys think I'm a shit about Kyrie, if we get Jay Crowder, he's one of the original players who drove me insane. My Jay Crowder disdain makes 0 sense, but I can't stand Jay Crowder. So if you guys want to hear me be mad, root for that. He was a Mav before he got traded to the Celtics, and he's such a hot, cold shooter, and it just drove me nuts. Like, it's completely irrational on my part.
I think it's pretty much settled. Yeah, he's going to Milwaukee, So before Mark Marquette, he's basically been doing the media kind of tour down there. Only other thing, I think, it's still early, but I think this was a good test. The Clippers aren't great, but they're kind of in the middle of the West. In the West, I think you're seeing so much movement in the West is just because there's a lot of parity, and the truth is there's a lot of just really not very good teams in the West. Nobody's, everybody thinks they can win. So
yes, yeah,
yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
And it'll be interesting to see the Nets. It's going to be Cam Thomas and the 3 and D's.
Cam Thomas, he's coming for LeBron's scoring record one day. My God.
But I don't know. As a kind of biased Rockets fan,
You're a great place as a Rockets fan. These Nets picks are all going to be pretty dang good.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, Mikal Bridges, he's good. But he benefited a lot from Chris Paul. He's not a number one option. I don't think he's a number two option. Cam Johnson, he's going to want 20, 24 million.
Yep.
They give him that, and they're already capped out. They're not going to be able to. They're stuck with Ben Simmons. But I'll leave it at that. But thanks a lot.
Sure thing, man. No, appreciate you coming up. Let's go with Jacob. Hey, Jacob. I'm going to get to everybody. I'm exhausted, but now I'm awake, so whatever. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing all right, man. There's just so much to talk about right now. I'm kind of flustered by all the subplots going on in the league right now. I mean, KD getting traded. I was pissed at the Lakers earlier for getting Vanderbilt because I really wanted him.
Yep.
And man, the Timberwolves are not a real franchise.
Nope.
What Mike Conley Jr. That's it. And Nikhil Walker, whatever. That's it. Bro, come on.
Yep. Embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Just fold the franchise.
So the
man.
Vanderbilt thing, not to be hyper pessimistic. I just want to throw this out to the void. Part of why the Vanderbilt and all those players going to the Lakers is interesting for the Mavericks is if Kyrie wants to go to the Lakers in the offseason, if that were to be his choice. The Lakers now have some guys they could do a sign and trade with the Mavericks for, like Vanderbilt, Beasley, and Rui Hachimura. Who it would make me fly into a crying rage blackout, but just throwing that out there.
Yeah, they can keep those other two dudes.
Vanderbilt's an interesting guy. He's an interesting player.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, if I just to talk about the game tonight, I mean my third eye is opened. The earth might be flat after all. Man, Kyrie looked good, and I think Krishna said it earlier is the fit was never really a question, right? So I mean,
not a basketball court, no.
Right, yeah, basketball fit was never a question. It's just is the off the court stuff going to keep him from playing?
Yep.
And I mean, if tonight was any indication, without Luka, looking pretty nice. Kawhi played, Paul George played. They weren't managing their loads tonight.
Yep.
And man, Kawhi. Can we talk about Josh Green for a second?
Absolutely. We have not had near enough Josh Green talk.
It looked like he was bothering Kawhi before Kawhi, kind of went on a little run there in the fourth, I think it was. He's the Kawhi stopper.
Well,
apparently.
so the thing that we did with Kawhi tonight, thank goodness, is we did not send just a constant parade of double teams. And we let Kawhi go ISO, and he cooked for a little bit. But you live with that for a guy like him. Okay, if he goes and scores 60 on you, then you weren't going to win anyways. But I was tired of getting beat by Norm Powell. Yes.
And Terrence Mann, too. Yeah, no, he was pissing me off. I was like, man, take the ball out of I would, like you were saying, I'd rather Kawhi shoot that or Paul George. Just anybody but those two dudes. Because Kawhi's going to get his anyway. We let these other bums go off, then, well, shit, we don't got much of a shot. But, I mean, I guess you do when you score 41 and Reggie Bullock was shooting like Ray Allen in the first. But, yeah, no, I was actually surprised with the defense. They actually looked pretty good. Kyrie actually played solid defense.
He's been a good defender this year.
Yeah, he wasn't the chair that everybody was saying he was when he got traded here. It's he was actually standing his ground. I was actually
There's a reason that guys like Andre Iguodala are what do you mean he's not amongst the NBA's top 20 all time? Players think under pure skill sets and ability, Kyrie has every tool in the book. He's incredible. It's usage, consistency, durability, and willingness. And he seems to be a guy who's very interested in a lot of things. one friend of mine that's a big Bulls fan said to me, he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie retires in the next 36 months. Not because he hates basketball, but because he wants to maybe do different shit. And you never know what, like he's talked about how much like being in Dallas has like him being wanted feels important to him. And I'm glad, because I hope that means he's interested. Because if he's interested, we're going to get a hell of a player.
Yeah, no, that I saw. I don't know who asked it. I'm sure it was Brad, but someone asked like if Kyrie had seen the news about KD being traded, and he was like, "Bro, can we talk about the team?"
Yep.
Like,
great first answer. That's the sort of thing that endears him to people.
Yep, that's saying all the right things right there. So it was a fun game. This is probably more fun than the other night.
Well, I can't wait for these two Kings games. I'm pissed that they're at 9 p.m., but they're going to be fun.
Yeah, is De'Aaron Fox like I don't know? Is he playing? Like I don't keep up with the
They
Kings that
are.
much.
He should have been an all-star. That's how good he's been playing. So this could be a great matchup.
Yeah, no, I'm always terrified of playing De'Aaron Fox. I don't know. I feel like even when Sacramento was doing what
they beat us. That's why.
Yeah, they always give us trouble. I don't know what like. I guess it's because they play at a fast pace, and we're usually slow, and I don't know. We just can't keep up with that for some reason, and I don't know what it is about the Kings. Before they were doing good like they are now, they just always gave us trouble.
Oh man. Well,
ever since we drafted Luka, I don't know. I mean,
because Luka didn't take him seriously. But if I'm very much looking forward to these.
Yeah, and hopefully we just keep Sabonis off the board. Like that's the other thing. Like we do that. Like I'm terrified of the putbacks he might get. So I mean, Powell, he's gonna need to. February Powell's gonna need to keep showing up. I don't know.
But we have March and April Powell are on the way. Okay, superhero Dwight Powell is on the way.
Yeah.
It's my favorite bit.
I don't know why this dude turns it up so hard in like the last 2 months of the season.
It's been that way for like 5 years too.
Yeah, like I remember last year, who was it against? I think it was Milwaukee. Like he turned in like a 25 point, 13 game. I was like, bro, we get this guy. I mean, we get this dude showing up every game. Like what? Like the sky's the limit. Like, but then the playoffs came around. We all saw how that turned out. But why? I don't get it. But I mean, better late than never. I get. Well, I mean, this is when the games really start to count. So good on him.
Well, thanks for hanging out, Jacob.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right. Micah, what do you got for us, friend? We'll give Micah a second for that unmute button. Sometimes the unmute button doesn't work for Micah, but that's okay. There he is. What's up? Nope, audio's not connected for you tonight. Don't know why. All right, Micah, thanks for hanging out. Let's go with Rain. Hey, Rain, how's the day? Let Rain find the unmute button as well. We're getting to the tail end here. Everybody's tired, even though it's the middle of the day for Rain.
Oh, it's late evening for me now.
Late evening, okay. Yeah, time zones are not my strong suit. What's up?
World's fucking turned upside down since last time I was on here.
Yes.
What do I have to add beyond what others have said? Not a whole lot, but with Kyrie, I say we probably got 6 months to a year, and let's try and make the most of it while we got him. And with KD now going to down the
getting a little bit of a rough connection, Rain. I'm sorry. All right.
Trying to. No worries.
All right. No, there you are. Now you're coming through clean.
Sweet. All right. So with KD now, we're going to the Suns and down Dodo, even though Green's picking it up. I just don't see how we can defend it a damn. And our options of strengthening our backcourt are extremely limited. I mean, you can see from the profile, I've enjoyed the Christian Wood experience for the most part, but I think the rumors of him being traded are probably in his head, and he's probably pissed. So probably need to get rid of him before he starts to pout even more.
We'll see. I mean, I didn't even think he's pouting too much. I just think he looks unhappy.
Well, yeah, I mean, can we blame him for looking unhappy? But, I just don't see a way to improve the defense, and I think, sure, they can score 160, but someone going to drop 200 on him? I don't know.
Some nights you never know.
You never know. What's Josh Green going to, teleport and defend all 5 positions at once? I don't know. I will say, I do have some optimism about Luka playing off-ball. Throughout the year, we have seen some little hints of some off-ball action from him with some little give-and-go plays between him and Wood, as well as, I can't remember what the game was, but there are, actually, I think it was in more than one game, where Luka actually set a screen for Josh Green. And it worked. And I was like, okay, well, if we can see more of that kind of action, because as we all have heard in Europe and in Real Madrid and playing with the Brazilian national team, he has a less ball-dominant style. So we all know it's entirely within his skill set to do so. Hopefully he and Kyrie figure that out, and we get to see a little bit more of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. Because he does it more in the first half than in the second half, and I'm looking forward and hopeful about Luka having a little more gas as the game goes on.
That's definitely going to be a bonus, and we probably will see an uptick in his fourth quarter performances and his efficiency, simply because he's just going to have more energy. So that would be nice to see, and then hey, having someone else for him to throw it off to, and for another player to hit the step back 3 despite needing only 1 point to seal a game. Who knows? It might actually be a better option for Luka to create the play for Kyrie in that situation.
I would like that.
But are we going to go through a 3 either way? At least now we've got someone else to take that shot.
You're right. They do go for 3s either way. Well, thank you, Rain.
No worries. Well, thanks for having me on, and hopefully the world stops being on fire tomorrow evening.
We'll see. Have a good one. And we'll go live tomorrow if anything weird Mavs happens. And all right, so coming up next, let's go with Mr. Green. How are you today? Tonight? This morning? Whatever it is.
Afternoon, Kurt.
Afternoon. Okay, yeah, you're all. I couldn't remember if you were in the Southern Hemisphere.
What time is it in Dallas?
1:30 a.m.
You poor bastard. It's 3:30 in the afternoon here in sunny Perth, Western Australia. Mate, the joy that I was experiencing in that first quarter, I can't remember being so happy watching this team. I really can't. It was just fantastic. One thing that I think Kyrie brings immediately is I just seems like a lot of movement, a lot of cutting. And if Josh Green's going to be playing 40 minutes a game, I think that'll benefit us.
He certainly seemed to have a great time running around.
Yeah, definitely. So, look, I don't think my signal strength is all that great, so I don't want to hang on here too long. But here's a wild one for you. How about Dallas trading one of their worst contracts for the league's worst contract? Christian Wood and Bertans to the Nets for Ben Simmons. I'll leave you with that one.
Well, thank you for proposing that nightmare. You have a good day.
Thanks, Kirk.
All right. Let's see here. Let's go to Mr. Kennedy.
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Kurt?
I am okay.
Like Miter said, it was most enjoyable first quarter or the first quarter was one of the most enjoyable I've watched. So that was great. But I was a little worried about, not from Kyrie, but JaVale and Theo. I couldn't believe them,
Right. Well, when Luka's out, and you got, who else was injured today? Obviously, my brain's just mush. Some of these guys aren't going to play, and you're just wondering if they're just soaking up minutes in certain ways. Bertans obviously being out, and then Maxey being out. So it's it's the fact that they were able to get positive Theo minutes feels like that's the one game where that happens.
I think it was. And JaVale looked like the guy that we heard about this summer when he came aboard, and hasn't shown up until first quarter today. But anyway, that's all.
Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thanks, Kurt. Bye.
Okay, last but not least, Mr. Cullen, welcome. Matt, are you there? Okay, well, maybe that'll be it. We're still getting, it's funny, I'm still getting feedback from Miter on stage, even though he's not here anymore. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. You're always welcome up on stage. We will have a good one. If anything weird happens, I will pop on tomorrow. I tried to schedule my normal day to where we don't have I can hop on here if need be. I'm really glad we won tonight, and 2 more road games, and then it is time for All-Star breaks. Everybody be good. Go Mavs.